Hey everybody, Robert here from blackbeltgaming. I hope you're doing well. We just read through the combat rules from the Necropolis The Shifting Quest. We've got an idea of how things are working, but it always helps to see an example. So here's a battle example from the book we can take a look at. We have a hero with a strength 10, ability 6, 800 health, and 5 armor. The two skills for this hero are Critical Strike and Battle Cry. Also in the inventory of the hero is a health potion, which will restore health to maximum. The hero is battling an imp with a strength of 10, ability of 2, 500 health, and armor of 4. And the imp has the Crushing Blow skill, which means that with this attack, if it spends its 2 skill points, it can multiply its strength by 30 and do pure damage. That means it's armor piercing. It goes right through the armor. So the battle starts. You need to determine which side will attack first. You roll 2d6. The hero gets a 4, and the imp rolls a 10. You add your ability for each side. The hero has a 6, so a 6 plus 4, going to be a 10. The imp will add its ability of 2. 10 plus 2 is 12. The imp will attack first. They announce their attack, and they're going to use Crushing Blow, and they use their 2 available skill points to activate it. Now, on top of this, they also have 2 action points. And the imp decides to spend the 2 action points. They're just kind of going all in on this first attack. And they're attempting to double the damage. This is the power attack. And that's my terminology, right? So you need to determine if this is successful or not. It could fail. So the imp rolls a d6, and on a 4, 5, or 6, it is successful, and the imp rolls a 4. So that means this is going to be a massively heavy blow. So if we look at this, Crushing Blow is your strength multiplied by 30. So that's going to be 300 damage. Multiplied by 2, that's a 600 damage hit. Well, the hero does have a chance to defend against the power attack. So the hero decides to use a defensive action and uses 2 action points to attempt basically a dodge or something. So that's 2 points out of 6 available. And the hero also needs to roll to determine if the defensive action is successful. Roll is a d6 and also gets a 4. This is successful, so it cancels the power attack. It doesn't cancel the whole attack. It just cancels the doubling of the final damage. So they've canceled each other out. So let's continue on now. We just complete the normal attack now. It's a Crushing Blow. Remember, that's going to do 300 damage, and it is pure damage. The hero's armor is ignored. So it hits the hero for 300 damage. If this wasn't pure damage, and the hero's armor could apply to reduce the damage coming in, it would be 10 points per point of armor. It would be 50 points less. But since this is pure damage, it's basically armor piercing. And there we have it. The hero is hit for 300. That was a big blow. So as we go to the hero's turn, as we start, the first thing you're allowed to do is consume a potion if you have one. And the hero does do that and restores their health points to maximum. You're now allowed, if you have something that is a quick cast, to use it, and the hero decides to go with Battle Cry. Remember, you have to spend the skill points to activate this, so it costs 3, and he has 3 skill points left over. What is the hero's attack? He chooses to use a skill called Critical Strike. This will also take skill points to activate, so 2 skill points, that leaves him with 1 left over. The hero is also going to go with an offensive action and decides to spend 2 of them to perform the offensive action. Again, I'm using this on this term called power attack. So he rolls the die, resulting in a 5, making the action successful. So he's doubling his final damage. The opponent could possibly have a chance to take a defensive action if he had remaining action points, but he doesn't. So he can't do it, and we have to skip on to the next part. The imp went all in on its attack. So the hero chose to attack using a skill, and it's a critical strike. This is put into the category of a physical attack, and that means that the hero is going to roll 2 dice, resulting in an 8. This adds his strength for a total of 18. The opponent rolls 2 dice, resulting in a 7, and adds its armor for a total of 11. The difference total is 7 multiplied by 10, resulting in 70 damage. So this is how a physical attack works. We saw when the imp attacked, it was just a pure skill attack. But the hero's attack is considered a physical attack, which has the die rolls here and subtracting the armor, or the armor roll, right? So the damage that gets through is 70. Now we calculate in what the skills are going to do. The critical strike triples this damage, so 70 times 3. Battle Cry, which was the quick cast we did at the beginning, doubles the damage. So that is going to be 70 times 3 times 2, and then there was a successful expenditure of action points and a die roll of the offensive action, basically the power attack, which will double the damage. So 70 times 3 times 2 times 2 is 840 damage. That is amazing. The opponent loses all his health, and he loses the battle, so the imp is destroyed. So that's how a battle works, and I'm sure we're going to see some more variations on this and some different things in play. As we see at the bottom here, it's time for the adventure to begin. So if you want to join me for the next video, we'll start the adventure. Thanks for watching, everybody.